Hey guys, Savage Joy with Real Progress in Action. I am in Illinois, or where the fuck am I? In Iowa still. Where the hell am I? I'm bordered in Illinois. I'm in Iowa still, campaigning for Bernie. To those of you who are new viewers or what have you, I'm here volunteering for Bernie for 5 weeks. I left Pennsylvania and I am in Iowa. Yes, I am up late, but actually in Iowa it's only like 11:30. um it hasn't been that cold. I mean, we did get an ice storm, but even with that, Bernie still had a rally here, right by this place I'm staying and right by our campaign office. And even with snow, sleet, and ice, we had over 400 seats filled and over 100 people standing as well, because people love Bernie. They're gonna come out regardless. And Miss Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib opened, and she was freaking fire. Oh my God, she was so good. And then Sunday, I got to meet Bernie again, and Sunday she came to our campaign office to give a speech, to talk to canvassers and things like that. And I got to meet her, and she was so kind and so incredible. And I can see why people want Rashida as VP. I am still burn and turn with Nina 100%. But if I'm okay if it ends up being Rashida, because damn did she kill it. Aw, thank you. It was really it was special. Oh, we'll get into Warren, but we will get into Warren. So, as far as the debate, my saying, I'll watch so you don't have to. You know how it goes. But here, okay, so here's some of my favorite standout moments. So Bernie, of course, gets asked about the whole nonsense that's the lie, which Warren started 48 hours ago. And so he handled it like a lot of us kind of assumed he would, very classy, not, accusatory, even though I kind of wish he would have been like, I never said that. He answered it, just kind of respectfully and classy. And the CNN moderator said, Bernie, did you say that? And he said, no, I did not. Then, swear to you, 2 seconds later, same CNN moderator said, what did you say when Bernie said that to you, to Liz? And Bernie's just like, what? I mean, it was like literally, Bernie, did you say that? No. Liz, what was your reaction when Bernie said that to you? Like in the same breath. It's like, okay, I know you guys don't even hide your contempt for him. I get it. Like, I know. It was so pathetic. It was so ridiculous. And of course, as expected, Warren doubled down. She did not say, yes, Warren did not say, he did say it. She just said, lots of people tell me women can't be president and blah, 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 and skirted it completely because she's too nervous. She can't deal with confrontation. she actually, one of the things that the whole thing starting was gross enough, but she sent out a, well, first was the interview when they asked Warren about it, and she said, "I am so disappointed in Bernie that he is having his people go out to trash me." First of all, I've been to 3 campaign offices in Iowa in the past 2 weeks, and I have never seen a single script with Liz's name on it. And you guys know I'd be okay if it was, because I'm not a fan. So you guys know I'd be like, oh, okay, so that's how we respond. It's actually been frustrating because we're not even allowed to say her name at all. Yes, we have a retort for if you support Biden or Buttigieg. It's nothing disrespectful. It's just kind of like a rebuttal. But as far as Liz, we are literally told to not even say her name. The only thing I've heard people say is, I understand you like Liz, and you know, her and Bernie are good friends. Like, literally, that's it. We have been specifically been told not to say her name. So when this comes out and she's literally accusing him personally of sending stuff out to, you know, that he personally is sending his people out to, you know, to just, it just blows my mind. Like, she keeps saying he's a friend. If someone is a friend and you hear they're saying something like that, why do you not contact them and say, hey, I heard you said this. It really doesn't sound like your character. I just want to see your take. Did you say this? What's up with that? No, she didn't. She went right to the media, slandered Bernie, said it was him himself, even though this is only one person's so-called script, and none of us have ever seen it. Now, keep in mind how frustrating it is for us to not be allowed to talk about her, even though we have so many issues with her. So then to get called out for it anyway is so freaking frustrating, because we've been like, come on, Bernie, do something for months. And now he's being accused of saying something he didn't even say. So to say that he was like, oh, a woman can't win is kind of bananas, considering how about, you know, he did over 40 events for Hillary Clinton, who is, I think, a woman, because he believes they can't win. Even Warren's own staff has come out and stated that what happened is what Bernie says, which was they were talking about how to beat Trump, and he said Trump will try to weaponize anything against anyone who runs, which will include being a woman, etc., etc. There's nothing wrong with that. That is true. He will try to use that. It's not that, like, what does that have to do with him saying that a woman can't win? That has literally nothing to do with it. So all these videos start coming out of Bernie since like the 80s telling little girls that they could be president and stuff, and it's just like one thing after another, just proving that, you know, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. It's just proving that it's complete bullshit. Then an article comes out this morning that Warren's campaign is in full panic mode, and they are requesting that all of their employees and volunteers go on social media to try and basically, uh, you know, dilute all the tension and all the everything that's going on. They want them to, calm everyone down and promote unity and stuff like that. That's what she says. So there's a whole article about how like they've been instructed to like calm things down, because literally every single person that I know that actually had Warren as number 2 is now never Warren. She has proven herself to be exactly what a lot of us knew she always was. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed. I'm not. I knew who she was. I've known who she was since 2016. But I'm hurt for Bernie because, I mean, you could see it in his face. You could see it. So the worst part is, at the end, Bernie went to shake Warren's hand and she didn't shake his back. That is so incredibly disrespectful. I'm so livid and disgusted. That is literally a temper tantrum on the stage of the debate. You couldn't even wait till you got backstage. Literally denied his handshake. And then she started going at him so hard. Poor Tom Steyer walks in there and tries to get in the middle of it. Is absolutely bananas. I don't come at us and say the word unity and say you're trying to squash it, because you know that this shit blew up and backfired on you so hard. And then come out and, like, can you guys fathom the reaction if Bernie, actually denied Warren a handshake? Can you guys fathom that? Holy shit. World War III. It would be insane. It would, oh my God, I can't even fathom. So I don't know why she's salty. She's the one that started all this with accusations and lies. So here's the other thing that's really just gross. She actually profited off of this, because the day she gave her, her, oh, well, Bernie sent his own people out to say this about me, she sent an email to all of her supporters, which stated that Bernie slandered her, blah, blah, Bernie said this and that, and it was completely slanderous to Bernie, and it asked for donations. So why is she salty? He did nothing wrong. Even people like Joe Scarborough from Fox News and people who, freaking Sally Albright, the #1 Bernie hater in existence of all time, like, holy shit, would do makes jokes about him dying. Like, these people who actually, loathe Bernie are coming into his defense. Like, why would he ever say that? Why would he say that? It makes no sense. I'm glad that Bernie brought up the fact that he asked Warren to run in 2015. That is 100% documented. We've known that for years. The only reason he ran is because he kept asking her and she declined. That is a fact. So what happened, between then and now, that all of a sudden he doesn't want a woman, And why is this so pressing? She sat on it for a year and a half. It's that salacious and that, oh my God, Bernie doesn't want a woman president, and you sat on it for a year and a half. Seriously? Stop. Like that is just gross and pathetic. So, desperate times, desperate measures. You're falling in the polls. You can't beat him on history. You can't beat him on votes. You can't beat him on policy. And you can't beat him on having a movement. What do? You resort to slandering. It's a desperation tactic. It's, I mean, it's so gross. So gross. So yeah, that's the main thing on most of our minds. As far as the debate, the audience was the most boring we've ever had. It was, I mean, there was like practically no clapping for anyone. The only excitement was they laughed at Bernie's jokes because his his sense of humor is amazing. So they did laugh at Bernie's jokes. Like one of them was, um, uh, Joe Biden was like, I'm not going to work with such and such dictator because he said that I'm, as good as a dog being dead or some weird shit. And Bernie said, but other than that, you think he's a nice guy. And Biden's like, yes, I think he's a nice guy. Other than that, like oh my God. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. Bernie has the best sense of humor. So Liz made a statement at one point that she said, and that's why I'm gonna win. And there was literally maybe 2 claps. It was so awkward. Hilarious, but awkward. Then Liz said something that was just amazing. Like, why would you advertise this? I have no idea. Liz said, my 3 brothers are Republicans, and there's a whole lot we agree on. And you admit that, why? Like, seriously, why? It's crazy. And it's like, you may want to call, Bernie sexist, but like, fact of the matter is he's been a feminist since before she was even a Republican. So take that. Liz also made statements like she was against wars, but you don't have the right to feign like kumbaya when you have voted for Trump's war budgets. That's what you voted for. What did you think they were going to use them for? You voted for them. Now they're using the money you gave them. Also, her votes included more money than Trump even asked for. They gave him even more. So you don't get to vote for those military budgets and then be like, oh no, we need to stop going to war. No. She also said she wants to stop pipelines and fracking. I remember when she ignored our pleas for a certain pipeline. I mean, you don't get to claim that now. Where were you? Where were you when people were on the line at No Dapple? When a girl had her arm ripped off? When people were breathing in, chemicals and getting sick? When people were freezing cold under 0 and being in water, having water sprayed at them on top of it? It's absolutely garbage. So you don't get to claim all of a sudden that you don't want pipelines. You had your chance to show where you stood, and you chose to ignore the people in pain of your own people. So that was another thing. Pete Buttigieg said that climate is very important to him, and he plans to be off fossil fuels by the year 2050. So that's good. I mean, 30 years from now, that's good. I mean, scientists say we have 10 years, so I mean, 30 years, yeah, that's all good. Good thinking, Pete. So people have been conflating Bernie and Liz all the time with Medicare for all. And the fact of the matter is, she's never supported Medicare for all. So it gets very frustrating to see people lump the two of them together. Once and for all, again, tonight Liz talked about how her job is going to be to defend the Affordable Care Act. People don't want to hear this, but it's reality. There is no Medicare for all with her, period. What else? Pete, I've complained about this before. Pete talks about his God a lot, and it really frustrates me. I don't care about your religion. Like, I don't care. I really don't. And a lot of people don't. That's not for the debate stage. He does it all the time. He does it in his speeches and his articles. Just stop. Just stop. God has no party. That's what he always says. It's so frustrating. He's trying to appeal. Exactly. Republican pandering. That's exactly what I was going to say. Joe did his infamous, and I would go on more, but my time is up. He did it twice. He does it all the time because every time he starts saying things, it's just a jumbled mess, and he looks forward to when his time is up. So he has an excuse to stop talking. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not. I had on closed caption because I don't have a TV here where I'm staying, so I was watching on my phone. And I had on closed caption, and I'm telling you, when Biden was speaking, it was so much like ... indecipherable ... Like, I was like, oh my God, it can't even translate. Like, it literally does not even know the words to put. Like, that's awful. I'm not even trying to be mean. Like, I'm serious that it couldn't translate what Biden was saying. Liz did talk a bit about lowering prescription prices. The problem with that is that, and she mentioned EpiPens a number of times. Here's the problem with that. EpiPens are about $350 a month. And Warren's plan puts a cap on $500 of prescriptions per month. How does that help people with EpiPens? It doesn't. She thinks this is what privilege is. She thinks capping prescriptions at $500 a month and $6,000 a year is good. Now, a few people that will help, but I mean, what about the people who can't make do and are rationing insulin that's only $350 a month? That's not going to do shit for them. But unfortunately, she talks this talk like, oh, we're going to lower prescription drugs, and people see that and they don't research, and they're like, oh my God, yes, queen, she's going to lower prescriptions. Well, as far as me, like, I take several prescriptions, and capping it at $500 a month is not going to do shit for me at all, as is the majority. Yes, Brad. Yes. I did know that. What else? Okay, so the African American woman who was one of the CNN talking heads, she's asked Pete, she said, you say that you don't have a lot of black voters because they don't know who you are, but you've been running over a year now. So maybe it's just that they do know who you are, and that's why they support someone else. And he went on, he was just a mess. He was, and I just kept thinking, why aren't you going to counter back and ask him why he lied about having all those endorsements from African Americans when half of them were white and they didn't even endorse him, and then using a woman from Kenya, her picture, I mean, why is nobody asking him about that shit? And then he's like, I do want their votes. Actually, no, you don't. You actually told the mother of the man who was gunned down by a cop in South Bend, I'm not asking for your votes. So, no, you're full of shit. Also, every time I see a debate, all I can think of is none of these things would be talked about if Bernie didn't pave the way in 2016. Would money in politics, would Medicare for all, would free college tuition, student debt forgiveness, fight for 15, none of these things would be talked about on this stage. Not a one, if he didn't pave the way in 2016. So regardless if you like him or not, he deserves props for that, because he planted that seed, which has changed politics forever. And, something I kept thinking was, okay, something I kept thinking was, people are so impressed that Pete speaks 7 languages, but Bernie's the only one who can speak Brooklyn Mensch. Because when he's like, healthcare is a human right and stuff, I mean, it's just, whoo, whoa, ha. He's such a cutie. I can't take it. So, oh my God. Joe Biden has the best words, not Trump. Trump likes to say he has the best words. He doesn't. Joe does. It's not malarkey. He really does have the best words. He said twice in a row, this is Joe, he said, the American public is getting clobbered. And I'm like, I haven't heard someone say clobbered in 4 decades. Clobbered. It's kind of, I feel, it's definitely abusive the way that they keep letting him go out there. Why is his family doing this? Why don't they tell him, you can't speak coherently, you're not making sense, you're making up stuff. I feel bad for him. I don't even necessarily loathe him anymore. Well, I mean, I do, but I feel bad for him. Someone really needs to actually talk to him and say, Joe, you're not fit. You're not. Because it's just elder abuse at this point. And people who think that he is still able to run a country when he doesn't have all his faculties is worrying me, because we're trying to get rid of someone who's, a danger to, putting his finger on the button, so to speak. And Joe is also a danger. Um, so what else? Oh, one of my favorite things about Liz, as in not favorite, but like it makes me want to like kind of puke on her, is one of the things is she goes, she's always like, mamas and daddies. Like, oh my God, stop the Oklahoma spiel. Like, my Aunt B said, like, just stop. It's fake, it's pandering, it's annoying. I see some of you guys talking about Klobuchar. I want to like her as a person because she's a dork. Like, she is absolutely a dork. And it's like she has really bad jokes, like dad jokes. And I really want to like her because I'm a nerd and I get it. Like, but she's just not funny, like even inadvertently. I really, really, really wish. Yeah, her peepaw. Pawpaw. Her pawpaw and meemaw. Oh my God, I can't. Um, but yeah, Klobuchar, like I really want to like her. Not, I never vote for her, but her dad jokes are just, dad jokes are usually so bad they're cute. Yeah, her 17 boyfriends, that I was like, yes, you get it, girl, 17 boyfriends. That was like my favorite Klobuchar moment ever. I will say I found it so refreshing to not have Yang on that stage pushing his stuff. That was refreshing as hell. Um, uh, we got Cory Booker dropped out, Julian Castro dropped out. Okay, so Gillibrand dropped out months ago and still hasn't endorsed anyone. Kamala dropped out over a month ago, hasn't endorsed anyone. Julian Castro drops out 2 days later, endorses Warren. I wonder if they have a pact. No way. That'd be crazy. Some people think that the whole Liz thing that transpired is something having to do with Biden. I'm not sure I understand that. I know it is going in his favor because a lot of people now are never Warren. So, I mean, but some people really feel that she's like, he's in it some way, like it's a plan together. And I don't really see any, to me, that's very speculative. I don't see any, I don't know. A lot of people think Biden and Warren will be, or have some kind of pact. And I'm like, I don't know if I can see that, to be honest. I mean, I certainly wouldn't vote for that, I can tell you that much. But this whole thing the past 2 days has absolutely done nothing but backfire on Warren. And I'm happy. I just hate to see Bernie hurt because she already betrayed the hell out of him and us in 2016. And to see the look on his face tonight was just heart-wrenching. And even tonight he played it classy, and it's frustrating because I wanted to be like, listen, I never said that. Yeah, she didn't shake his hand, and it was gross. It was really disgusting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of curious as to what was said, but I'm proud of him that he responded a few words and then walked away. And I was very happy he did that. You guys do think Biden would be her VP pick? I don't know. You know, one thing I'm very relieved about is that there were so many people who were like, Bernie Warren, you know, and I was like, no, hell no, hell no, hell no. And now I'm like, the chances are that are not looking as likely. And I am definitely okay with that. Dude, I could totally see Biden and Harris. That'd be hilarious. Bernie and Nina, burn and turn 2020, hands down. But yeah, that's, oh my God. God, some people think Warren will drop out. I do not. As someone who is in Iowa, I gotta say though, now I've only been in 4 cities in Iowa because I've only been here 15 days. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have seen 2 Warren signs. Now, there's a lot of cities in Iowa. I've only been in 4. I've seen 2 Warren signs. The bad news is, I've seen a hell of a lot of Buttigieg signs. Like, I mean a lot. Like a lot. Which worries me. However, after what's been on these past few days, even if Buttigieg is second, as long as, you know, man, as long as Liz isn't second, I just feel like we need to beat her so bad. Not just because I'm sick of her getting called a progressive when she is clearly not, but because it's time for people to start acknowledging and differentiating between the two of them. And you know, we have 23 campaign offices in Iowa. We have over 1 million volunteers. Just Saturday and Sunday, we had ice, sleet, snow, and we had over 100 people from Chicago come on buses to knock doors. I was like, are you guys sure you're still coming? Oh yeah, we're coming. Are you guys sure you're still gonna go door to door in the ice and sleet and rain and snow? Oh yeah, we're going. Give us our list of houses. That dedication will be found with no other candidate. I have friends here from the UK in Iowa going door to door. I have friends I know 2 people from Ireland in Iowa going door to door for Bernie. This is a worldwide movement. You cannot compare. But Bernie says it, and it's the truest thing ever. When people show up in big numbers, we win. When people don't show up, we lose. That is the thing. We gotta get people out to vote. We have to. The one good thing I'm very proud of is I will be precinct captain at one of the voting locations in Davenport. And what that means is I will be counting the caucus goers. I will be submitting the official results to the Bernie campaign, and I will have the ability to call out the Dems if they give me a different number. I am going to have that responsibility and that privilege of doing that, and I cannot wait, because I've got a whole lot of 2016 PTSD, and if I see anything, they're gonna wish it wasn't me. So I'm definitely excited to do that. I'm also, one of my other jobs as precinct captain will be in Iowa. You have to get 15% to qualify to get any delegates. So right now we have like 4 candidates at most who have ever made 15% in the polls. So you're talking, what, like at least another 8 who likely are not going to get 15% in votes. And that being said, one of my other jobs is going to be to try to convince these other people to come to Bernie's section. So let's say to Tulsi people, I'll say, hey, chances are Tulsi will be in Bernie's cabinet. Come join us. To Yang people, I feel like Tulsi and Yang are probably, hopefully, some will come over. So the other thing is, interestingly enough, we all keep hearing from local Iowa polls that Tom Steyer voters have Bernie as a second choice, which is really interesting since we're all like anti-billionaires. But apparently, I'll take him. Not that I think he's going to have a lot, but yeah, I think unfortunately I was going to really come down to Bernie, Biden, Buttigieg, and Liz. And we've certainly put in the work to win. And we certainly have the coalition to win. But I'm going to ask all of you to please, 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 please post. We have 20 days. Post on your pages every single day. Please get out and vote. Please get out and caucus. Please, regardless of their party, they can register Democrat at the door, at the caucus, and vote for Bernie. So don't even worry about, like, if people say I can't because I missed a deadline. There is no deadline. Get your ass out. It's February 3rd. The actual caucus is at 7 p.m. They need to be there at 6:30 Iowa time. The doors will be locked at 7 p.m. sharp. And that's one of the shady things they did last time. You're supposed to have everyone in line still be able to get in, and they did not allow that to happen, which is against the rules. But, so we learned a lot. But I need your help. I need you guys to keep getting on people to search your Facebook friends. Type in Friends Iowa. See who's there. Hit them up. Tell them, please, caucus for Bernie. Yes, Women for Bernie has been trending for over 24 hours, as has I Trust Bernie. But this has got to be a group effort, even if you can't come to Iowa, if you can't, donate money. I get it. I totally get it. But we need your help getting people's asses to the polls. We got to do it. Iowa kicks it off. Iowa starts everything. It's proven that most people who win Iowa caucus end up becoming the nominee. And that's been likely for decades. So this is huge. It will set the precedent. In New Hampshire, if people are undecided, if Bernie wins Iowa, they're now voting for Bernie in New Hampshire. I can guarantee it, because that's how people's minds work. They're like, oh, well, he can win. Bernie literally just went up 10% in California today. That is ridiculous. He's also 10% above beating Trump. I mean, we need to do everything we can to elect him. You guys can send postcards. You guys can do it Twitter. You guys can do it on Facebook. You guys can even text your friends. Anyone in Iowa. Right now we're concentrating on Iowa. We have offices in New Hampshire, South Carolina, Vegas, California, but we need to, non-voters can decide Iowa. That is 100% accurate. I am talking to people who have never caucused in their lives. Now, one of the things that is really interesting is that last time in Iowa, you guys all know, I'm sure, that we got screwed because it was a tie and it came down to a coin toss, which, even though mathematically is impossible, apparently Hillary won all 6 out of 6. But anyway, so one of the things that's really interesting is in 2016, only 185,000 people voted in Iowa. There are over 3 million residents. That is historically awful. 185,000 voters out of over 3 million people. So an article came out the other day that states that over 2 million people have either registered or re-registered in Iowa. That's huge. We just got to make sure a lot are for Bernie and a lot actually come out. So it's going to, I mean, we have 20 days. If we really, really want Bernie, we all have to chip in somehow, even if it's just saying every day on social media, get to the caucus, or suggesting, hey, tell all your Iowa friends, get to the caucus. If people need rides, we're setting up rides. If people need childcare while they come, we're setting up childcare. Reach out to me if you have any questions. We are doing anything and everything in our power to get this win. And if we don't get it, I don't know if we can get the nomination. It's really that simple. If we win Iowa, it changes everything. So please do what you can. If you have any questions about how to get people to the polls, or if you, feel like you want to come to Iowa and you need a place to stay, I brought an air mattress. I've been having people over from out of state and things like that. I've been having them crash here. There are other people who are opening their spare bedrooms and stuff to people. We will find you a place. Don't hesitate to reach out. We will do anything to win this, honestly. And it's going to take all of us. So thank you so much for watching. I know my shows have been pretty sporadic since I've been here, but I've been doing like 10-hour days with the campaign. These past 2 weeks have been pretty amazing. And I understand what people say when they say, like, this experience will be life-changing. I've never done anything like this. So, going across the country to a place I've never been for 5 weeks it has been life-changing. And I hope it's all worth it. But thank you all so much for watching, as usual. You guys are freaking amazing. I love you guys so much. You guys keep me going. You kick ass. Please share, and please get out the caucus. So thank you guys so much. Much love.